Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I made a comment to County Clerk Michelle Phillips about maybe rewording that, and she agreed. She thought that sounded a little bit better, and she said that she would do that from now on.
Oh, on the minutes?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that would be agreeable by me. Other than that, I've seen no other
I
additions. So with that, do I hear a motion to accept the minutes from the February 16th minute?
so moved, Mr.
Meeting.
Chairman.
And I'll second that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes passed 2-0. Okay. Any commissioner comments and committee reports?
I have a project concern March the 2nd. Wait, excuse me, JCAP March the 2nd, and project concern I think it's March 13th. Other than that, that's all I have, sir. Mr. Chairman.
Okay, it was the 10th of February when I had ambulance advisory committee meeting. Talked about our contracting with the medical director, was Dr. Rovenstein. Talked about the billing process starting. Different things from the new command structure, from the top down at the ambulance. What's the word? Ambulance department. I guess that's what I was wondering. We talked about the staging of the the ambulance at Lancaster when one ambulance is out, but there's ambulance that's covering. So far it's going towards Atchison, but in the future they want to bring it back out, so it's staged both ways. And that was a lot of what we talked about that day. And that's the only committee that I had this month. Okay, it's 1:05. Lydia, do you want to come forward?
Papers for training.
Hmm?
For training papers.
She's got them.
Oh, she brought that up. Okay.
Okay, she was up this morning and talked to us a little bit about this for training. It's a PO for a travel and authorization and expense report. So do we need to discuss anything about this, or do you want to just approve it?
I'll make a motion to approve it. You're going to use the county vehicle as available?
Yes, sir.
I see we had for gas. And I figured,
Okay, and I'll second it. So it's moved and seconded to authorize a travel for Lydia Ackerman in a total amount of $905. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed 2-0.
You may explain it. It's a 2-day training course.
For billing and coding, and it gives my continuing education for my certification.
At St. Louis.
St.
Correct.
Louis, yes.
Is it ABC 60 or ABC? Okay.
That would come out of EMS budget, I presume.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we have any money in there for training?
I don't know that it was specifically set aside in
Not
this
there.
budget. It would just be under commodities. Yeah. Right?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Seth?
Yeah, wait, one.
Oh, we got a bid. Oh, I didn't see that that was a bid opening. Okay, well then, if we got a few minutes, did you actually want to address the board, Mr. Shepherd, or?
Well, I want to know if they come up with a county road or not.
Well, is it,
I would say we're still looking at it.
Well, my daughter already looked at it, and she said there wasn't any place that said they took it off.
Well, she also didn't show in anything that I saw, anything that said that it had actually been opened. And
Yeah.
so,
It was.
do you have that documentation?
Well, she got it out of there.
You might want to bring that to us, but as I said, we're still looking at it. And it will take a little bit of time.
Well, she went over there the day we met here and looked at it. She said it was up to 1960, I think. And then from then on, there wasn't anything.
I recall some papers that she brought up from KDOT. Now, that would be,
Yeah.
I believe
She
the,
had a map, I think.
was that actually a petition to have the road open, but we never did find whether it actually had been actually
acted on.
opened or actually acted upon. So that was kind of the catch-22 on that is it's like a proposal to open the road, but had it actually ever been signed off on, we don't know yet.
Well, she didn't find, all the paper she found was that it was a county road till 1960 or something, and it was nothing. It wasn't vacated at that time. She goes in, she worked for the state for years.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's working for a pipeline on the same kind of stuff. So she knows what she's doing.
Right. I'm not disputing that, but we just, last week we had kind of we didn't get to act on it because we didn't have a quorum here, so we couldn't have a meeting there. So, and then I got back with her on her email saying that I was gonna, and I'll send her an email when I get home tonight, saying we're still looking at it and trying to weigh some options of, what may happen down the line one way or another,
Well, the thing is, I'm taxed on it, but I can't use it. Well, I could, but if I put a crop in there, the neighbors wouldn't be able to get to their place.
Right.
And they put a culvert in there, somebody authorized the culvert.
But that is, a culvert wasn't down the road. It was just like a field access culvert, which we would supply anybody that had access to get into their property. That would be a tube or culvert put in.
Yeah, but I didn't authorize it.
Well, but do you ever use it?
No.
You don't use it at
I
all?
don't need it.
Well,
I got
His neighbor would use it.
the neighbors, evidently somebody was using it, and it was determined to be a field access, and I don't know whether, had there ever been one there before, or did they just replace it?
No, they lengthened it out, what they done for trailers.
Okay.
That had to be a request from somebody, wouldn't you guess, Seth? Probably from,
Yeah, but
we just wouldn't have went out there and did it just to be doing it.
No.
couldn't find it.
I could track it back. I could look clear back to 2011 and I couldn't track it.
And I also think the policy is the landowner pay for the extension, the county will put it, so somebody had to buy it.
Well, both the farmers said they didn't do it.
They may have not installed it, but they had to buy the tube.
I don't know.
There gets to be so many angles to this. And people come and go, and commissioners come and go, and directors come and go. So it's hard to track a lot of this stuff down. So we're still looking at it. Well,
Okay. Well, yeah, you email Nancy, why?
yeah, I will. if I don't get to,
If you get some information.
well, I'm gonna email her back with
Whether-
whatever I found, because I told her I was gonna email, so I'm gonna email her. And it may just be the fact that we're still tracking stuff down and to be decided, but, you know, I wanna keep her informed.
Okay.
All right,
I don't wanna make my neighbors, mad at me by jerking the tube out. The county said they'd take it out,
well,
and I don't wanna do that.
no. No, I'd advise against that, because that's if nothing else, an implied easement there for them, so. Another angle.
I do want it off my taxes, but I can't farm it, so Bartlett Road, do they take half the road off from me? The road on the west side.
Well, see, that was,
Everybody pays property tax to the middle of the road. If you're on the south side of the road, you pay to the middle on the south side. The landowner on the north side pays to the middle on the north side. That's just the way it is.
But yeah, they tax me on it.
They tax everybody. Every taxpayer is paying. I'm paying
I
taxes
don't
on
know
it.
about that.
I think when we give you all the options, you really need to think long and hard, because I think there's going to be a lot more negative than there is positive. But that'll be your decision to make.
we want to come up with an estimate of what that would be saving you in taxes too. If there's a choice to be had, then you can make the most informed decision you can make at that time.
Well, it's about $15 an acre. 40 foot, half a mile. I don't know how many acres that'd be, an acre or something probably.
You know, 40-foot wide times, would you say 3,300 feet long?
No, mine goes 26,
2,600
40
by 40 foot. Yeah.
by 40 foot. And then, according to years ago, it went 3,500 feet. So it went up back on the other property.
Oh, okay. It continued past your property line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Down to the house.
Okay. Well, thank you.
That'll be all right, thank you.
Seth, come on up. I think by the time you get them opened, it'll be one time.
You got your letter over there. There's one right here. Save your fingernails in case you want to pay them.
I don't think I'll be paying.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so this is on the Jewel Road culvert replacement. A little bit more than what we can handle with what we have, so we had to put it out for bid. So the first one will be Marlatt Construction. For the amount of $28,810.
Ooh.
Second one will be from Wagner Excavating. And the amount of $29,400. And the last one will be from Martin Construction for $19,800.
Wow.
Wow.
Big difference. Now, is this our tube that they are taking the old one out and putting in the culvert that we purchased and putting it in? So,
Correct.
so the culvert we supply is the one they're putting in, so they're not bidding a different culvert.
Correct. No, it's the
Okay.
same culvert, it's just their machinery, their hours, their The material deal is they can use our spoils from the FDM landfill, or they had to have it approved on what they had before bids. So only had one contract, which was Marlat. Asked to use a separate spoils pile. I approved it, but so they all had the same opportunity to bid the same exact way. If they decided to change on the spoils, they had to have approval. The other two didn't have any other spoils piles.
We furnished the tube, I presume. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we go with Mark Construction on the Jewel Road culvert in the amount of $19,800.
And I'll second that. Is there any other discussion or anything about it before we?
Road crew, how, it's gonna be get in and get it day or two, 3.
It's all
Week.
going to depend on what they get into with that box, and it'd probably be a week or two.
Well, you're gonna have to notify.
And it's a smaller road, or a less traveled road.
So
This
they're
is
gonna
south
do-
of Lancaster down in there by Jim Buttrins.
Right into his driveway. So
They're doing 100% of the project. We don't have to send our men out there so we can concentrate on the other 2 projects.
correct. Because they started on that today, so everything is on them.
They started on that today, you see?
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed 2-0.
You need to make note of Commissioner Sheila's absence.
We've got a couple things. At lunch today, somebody was telling me about a couple, now there are cement box culverts that are needing attention. It would be, I think the first one west of the old Huron Cemetery, and then also the first one south. I think it was 308th runs east and west there, I believe.
So the first one west.
Yeah. And I think it's the worst one of the two, and then the first one south of the old Huron Cemetery. One of them, they said there's been gravel put in and kind of concrete, has been separated and the water running underneath or around, so I don't know how big they are, but that was just something I heard at lunch today. So when they said they had contacted people before, but they're no longer with the county, so they didn't know whether it was on the list or so. I told them I'd inform them.
Go check those out.
Another thing is you've got people putting signs up or redoing signs out. Is there redoing stop signs with the road intersection changes on them?
Not currently. We were doing that a couple weeks ago. We haven't been doing it here lately.
Well, evidently they've just left the old signposts and metal posts and stuff just lay in the ditches, so they didn't pick up. So
Do you know what locations or where they might have been?
yeah, I'll email you the locations. I just never soon not
Or,
advertised, but
okay. Yeah, I can go.
and maybe just have anybody where they went and maybe kind of do a double check. But
Okay. Yeah, that's unusual. Usually they're bringing them all back in. So
I don't know whether it was just an oversight or what. But
Is it possibly that maybe the landowner was going by and saying, well, with them old posts, oh, we're just going to go and junk them, but we'll take them. Well, we'll just throw them here along the side of the
shouldn't
road.
have, 'cause
Well, I was just
I
saying.
mean, it's possible, but yeah, they should know better than that. We usually bring them all back to our stock.
okay, it seemed like there was something else. Somebody told me there was a washout on 262nd Road, but I asked for more.
That would be down there where the bridge is, what they're talking about, isn't it?
Is that the?
Sherman Bridge.
It wouldn't be our road if it was that one. It'd be a township.
Maybe it was township, but they just said it was a washout, and they couldn't tell me more, so I
Because
just had to
I
bring it up.
remember this, Mr. Scott mentioning the washout, but I thought it was down there right by the 260s where the bridge we're putting in.
Well, there's one out there by Monrovia. There's a 266 there.
262nd.
Oh, 266.
Second is what I had down.
That would be it.
So
Well, there's. It's on
I-
the rocks.
Because Mrs. what's her name? She's with the chamber, lives up there.
Yeah.
She had mentioned a washout by the bridge. It's dangerous too. I can't think of her name now.
262nd.
262nd. And
That's Mount Pleasant and Walnut.
I know that's not
Rock
giving
Road.
giving you any information, but it's just
I mean, I know we have one out west a little farther. We've had it marked. It's just a matter of getting in there and getting a new tube in there to replace that so that washout stops.
okay.
So I'll drive 262 and see if I can find another one. But
Well, who told you? You know.
I can't even remember. I wrote this down a couple weeks ago, and because I knew it was going to be this week, and I didn't write enough.
okay.
I'll get back with you if I can think of who.
If not, I'll drive the road.
Well, it was 2 weeks ago. I've got 262nd Road washout. But I don't have anything of who was here. Have we looked into or thought anything more about meeting with the townships or having a joint meeting or sometime or
I'm ready whenever.
okay?
We can find the time to do it.
Probably if it's going to happen, it'd probably be needing to happen probably by the end of March because by then most of the board members are farmers and they're going to be in the field and I'm just
Sooner the better.
yeah.
I would recommend that we don't have it on a meeting day because that could, you know,
I think it'd have to almost be an evening meeting, don't
an
you?
evening meeting, but not a regular, you know, not like a Tuesday, like right now, at our regular meetings.
Yeah, because we couldn't fit it in here, but now as commissioners, all three commissioners going to be there too? I mean, we're going to have to be aware of open meetings too.
Well, you could have a special meeting.
We could announce it. Then we're gonna have a special
Yeah.
meeting with the townships, and we'd be
Okay.
good.
Okay, just so we're getting everything taken care of.
Do you feel meeting with all of them at once, or splitting them up, or?
I think it'd be good to have them all in the same area and everybody can discuss the different issues they might have or what we might have. And
I would say,
it could be an all around, everybody can hear everybody's opinion on whatever, and it's not, we have their opinion, then we go to the next meeting.
have, I know you'd given me a sheet or two with the statutes that dictate the size of the culvert that is, things like that we could just have some handouts to give them. You know, general information, this is what,
Anything over 24 inches, county responsibility. isn't it?
25 square foot, so.
Oh.
it-
Well, that's not-
5 foot by 5
You know,
foot
just-
box.
there's some general topics like that we could get together, have some handouts and on things like that, and then there'll be plenty of topics that, you know, we'll probably have to come back and do some research on, see what, you know,
I'm
when
all
you get
for-
that many township people there's going to be a lot of subjects broached.
I'm gonna sow a seed, but it won't grow because it's gonna be planted on concrete as combining some townships.
So I'd say we just need to set an agenda and try to stick to it, and then at the end of it, we can kind of have an open discussion. Just so we're not sitting there rambling on different things,
Mm-hmm. You're right. We need to do that.
but
I think you ought to get it set now because you've got to give notice to them and most of them only meet once a month and so.
If you tell them now, it could be March before,
Well,
or it could
It'll
be
be-
they all meet toward the end of the month, so maybe have one
first part of
first
April.
part of March. I think everybody meets like the last Thursday or something of the month.
I really don't know if they need to have a, you know, if we just get the word out to them. I mean, they wouldn't have to coincide with any of their meetings or anything.
No, it'd probably be good for them to be able to have a meeting
Oh,
before coming to
Discuss.
us.
kind of discuss what's going on. Okay.
And if they meet the last week, this is the last week
Last week.
of the month.
Yeah.
So,
What's
Maybe March 6th through the 10th, sometime that week.
Yeah, I don't know where we're going to do it at here. Will there be enough room here or?
depends on how many come,
So I
yeah.
don't
No.
have enough room in my
You
office.
could have as many as, 27? Aren't they all three, or they
1,
some
2,
up to
3,
5?
4, 5,
They're all
6.
three.
They're all three, so you,
24. Yes.
so be getting full.
We could put more chairs out here as far as that goes, but
Well, if we planned it, we could probably use the district courtroom too.
What does the school board charge for their room?
I have no idea. I'm not sure they do.
We could get the word out.
That would be a good place to meet. You know, we had a city
Yeah,
county meeting down there.
409 support room.
409's boardroom. You may check into that, see what they get and see what's available. That would be enough.
I think the most important thing right now would be just to pick a date and then get the word, and then we could always get the word out to them when.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to pick a date because you got that many townships and you got 3. There's gonna be one that some of them aren't gonna be able to attend, but where they got 3 trustees, you know, at least one of the 3 ought to be able to attend it.
Right.
I kind of suggest going to the first week in April even to give them enough notice that nobody is stuck with, I couldn't plan for it because it was too short a notice.
I would tend to agree.
Okay. I'm good in April, pretty open, as of now.
You mean actually wait that long? I thought we wouldn't have it as soon as possible.
Well,
I think you want to give them the notice right now.
so they could talk about it here in a week and then
What would be the best day of the week? Like a Wednesday night, Wednesday evening, or
Wednesday's usually religious, isn't it?
So,
Functions. So probably not Wednesday night.
Monday night?
when the school board meet.
Monday nights. Do I hear Tuesday?
We could do it Tuesday and then after our meeting, from 7 or something,
Tuesday the 4th, then.
Tuesday, Thursday probably work either one. So
Well, we'll have Michelle check, but I'm sure that's available. I don't think they charge. That would be, to me, a logical place. You got plenty of parking, it's easy to get in and out, and the room's big enough to hold, you know, you could put 50, 60 people in there.
Okay.
Maybe just get some cookies and you know, some snacks or something.
So we want to decide on April 4th then and make that the day, and as long as everything works out, we'll just keep it at that.
I think we're gonna have to set a date because you got that many people. There's bound to be somebody that's not gonna be able to make it, but if you start letting them pick and choose, you'll be a month just getting everybody on picking a date. So just pick out a date of what is it, April 4th? That's when we'll have her.
What time?
7. Don't that usually?
You're gonna be available, yeah, you should be at 7, right? You probably have to take minutes.
Yeah, that'll be okay.
And then you probably need to check on that baby to Seth,
I'll
and
check on
then,
it.
so you can
Sure.
tell
I'll
Seth,
get with Seth.
or are you gonna send out the,
I'll get
to the
we'll
township?
figure
We'll
it
work it out.
Yeah.
Alright,
No problem.
did you cut any, trees with the new cutter? How's that working?
I took it out one day, like the third day we had it. It's pretty good. I like it. So
It's built good.
it's tough. I mean, I took a 4-inch tree out and it cut it like it was a chainsaw going through it. No problem. Didn't even phase it. So probably as big as I want to go with it.
Yeah, just don't tear it up just 'cause it'll cut it.
Yeah.
You seen it yet? You're gonna be impressed. It's built good.
I haven't been out there. If I have time today, I may stop out there and
It's nice.
look at the
Nice.
rack you built. And
It's nice too.
Yeah, like I said, we started 210 road today. It's torn out. Not a bridge left. Hopefully the rain doesn't hit us too hard. Should have concrete back either by the end of the week or first next week, and then our goal is to have the structure actually built and backfilled by the end of next week, and then hopefully it's open back up. on the
Did
third week.
the one landowner south approach you yet?
Yes, I talked to him.
Did he understand that we just don't do it?
Correct.
I knew that, but
Correct. Yep. And
Okay.
he's working well with us. He's letting us utilize his property and everything. So.
yeah, Alan's reasonable.
And then River Road, we still haven't really set a date to start on that one. We're gonna get this one. Hales Bridge will be our next one, and then we'll start probably down River Road. Still got a few fine details to work out with the city on elevations. So
I just thought you'd kind of tie it in a month before you was going to do your chip and seal, and just go from that. Just keep right on chipping and sealing. But that'll be too late.
it'd be early for chip seal. We'll be going right into asphalt, but I mean, it doesn't take
We
much.
need to notify the businesses up there, quarry, that's gonna be an inconvenience to him, but I don't know what we can do. Are we gonna do total tear out? We're gonna do one lane tear out, small sections, both
As
lanes?
of now, we're gonna tear everything out. They're still working what they want to do at the area by Mizzou's. That's just one of those areas. It's tough to make a decision, so they're gonna get their engineer kind of involved on how
And then
to
the city
lay it.
will, get the tubes and have them on hand, so
Well,
we'll
we'll probably just utilize ours.
utilize
and
your,
pay for-
okay, that's
yeah,
fine.
we'll,
Just as long as we got them before we,
yeah.
Get that far, we're
and
not
still
waiting on
setting
that.
the spots for each of those. And we're just trying to figure out what elevation we actually want to set the entire road at, if it can all be one elevation, so. A few other fine details, but we should, I mean, we're pretty close to getting ready to start on it, so.
Anything progressing on the Sherman, that road
I
yet?
haven't heard anything, and towards the end of last week, they were still waiting on approvals. I know the engineer had got the shoring plans back from the contractor. There's a few changes they had to make, and they went back. And I hadn't heard anything since. I'm sure I'll hear something today. They usually call me every other day or something and give me an update. So hopefully, I told them I had to have a week to a week and a half notice before they were to shut the road down. So the contractor cannot start until I'm notified.
Okay.
So, other than that, I did submit our routes for the signage project on last Thursday evening. I think I completed those, so KDOT has those, and we'll wait back to hear from them on what they say. But we should be good on that.
Okay.
Anything else?
That should be it.
All right, thank you.
What we got here? Oh, this is the PO on the containers from Martin Construction. So,
I thought we were gonna table that for a while.
well, we did last meeting. We tabled it, so I think we'll have to.
I thought we were gonna try to negotiate.
Well, yeah, she just handed it over here, so it's like we said we were going to look at it today. Well, we haven't. We're not to the point probably to. We'll just have to table it again. I'd also like Commissioner Shealy here when we talk about this.
Correct, I would agree with you.
Okay, we'll table that one again. We also want to table this bill for the Atchison Rotary Club till next week.
Okay.
I want Commissioner Shealy here when we address that. Okay, we have a PO here for Atchison County purchase order and claims voucher for the GIS technology, the
Software.
maintenance fee, which is split between the IT and the appraiser, and the total amount was $4,200. Primary maintenance is billed to IT and GIS, which is $3,000, and the rest is split between appraiser and the same.
We did that in the past, Mr. Chairman, so I'd make the motion that we approve to pay the maintenance in the amount of $4,200
And I'll-
between the appraisers and IT.
And I'll second that. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Pass 2-0. I think that goes to you, don't it?
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Skipped over any elected officials and department heads.
Go to 9. Or is any business, new business?
Well, we got right here. Do we want to? Good timing, so we'll
Slow
just.
business day?
Yeah.
You're not in closed meeting or anything? Or?
No,
Okay.
not yet.
Okay. Probably 2-3 things. Currently from the extension office, we are without a secretary office professional, and we'll advertise, and budget's going to be real tight. So I don't know if does the county have any secretary types that are in non-courthouse, non-other offices, that any assistance that, just got to ask as far as there's any assistance for office professionals through the extension office that might be in the way of the commission helping, and I'm not even sure what I would be asking. Meaning, basically we pay what the salary has been. It's been last one we had was at $10. So our budget's tight enough. I'm not even sure if we can do $10 this next go around. We do capers, paid vacation, so to speak, and sick leave. Years and years and years ago, we was even in the county pool for retirement, I think, as far as how that was. But capers now what works. So I don't know. Just keep you aware as far as
The only person I could, just off the top of my head, would be the soil conservation, which would be Kelly. I don't know if she
Yeah.
could. Of course, she is leaving, so it'd be a bad time.
She's leaving.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of salary they've been offering for
Well,
their
it would
employee
be
either.
quite a lot more than what $10 is.
Yeah.
I would say so too.
And county salaries, or what beginning is for secretarial type office managers.
You know, I just don't want to hazard a guess because
Okay.
it would be wrong. But
That'd be Jamie.
Jamie would be the one that could tell you
Okay.
maybe more.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess 12 to 15, just by guessing.
Yeah.
But you know,
I can
if
check
that would fit, that would be the logical thing there. Being there in Effingham would
Yeah.
be a good fit. But
Yeah. Okay. And in our small office, as far as a variety of things you do, you don't get to specialize just doing things. It's word processing, bookkeeping, and receptioning, and whatever. So okay, so that's fine. I'll check with Jamie a little bit too on that. Then secondly, at one of our last K-State updates, the Dean of College of Agriculture wants to keep those of you that are in management informed what K-State College of Agriculture is doing. So they have these little brochures that they have put together for updates, legislative reports, and so it's just the different things that Extension is doing, and they're going to still want to hold up that Atchison County Extension is connected with K-State College of Agriculture. So as the dean goes and talks to the legislators and talks to people across the state, these are some of the things that he is holding up that Extension and the College of Agriculture is doing for the citizens of Kansas from border to border. So this is just their last update, and wanted to get that in your hands too. And I can leave one for
Jeff, just
Easy
put it right
enough.
here.
So yeah, so there's that. Then on the districting idea, just kind of keep you informed. Maybe our board continues to talk with Leavenworth County, and I don't know. Their extension board, they need to visit with their county commissioners, and they have a new commissioner versus last year. Is it one new commissioner?
one, I believe.
So, so they, as the Leavenworth County Extension Board, needs to visit with Leavenworth County commissioners to see their level of understanding on districting and how much education they, as the Leavenworth County Extension Board, needs to do to their commissioners. At that same time, it's probably wise for we in Atchison County to come to you commissioners if you have questions on districting, where you, if you have questions, advantages, disadvantages. There again is in 2014, commissioners accepted the resolution to look at districting with Leavenworth County. And as far as I know, that is probably still an okay resolution if we continue to talk with Leavenworth County. If it comes down to Leavenworth County commissioners say, no, we're really not probably thinking districting is where they're headed, then we as Atchison County will have to re-look at that and see what direction that takes us. But so as I'm just giving you maybe the update, and maybe you, I mean, the commissioners of Leavenworth County, and maybe Bill, maybe you're a little bit closer with what you would read them to think.
I have no read on the new
Okay,
commissioner,
okay.
but on the other two, I only attended maybe one or two meetings. It seemed like if one of them said yes, the other one said no. It was.
Okay.
I don't want to get into it, but
Yeah.
I don't have
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
have a read on them
Well,
currently.
and it may be too, even as Leavenworth County Extension Board visited with those commissioners.
I
we may-
will say,
we may-
my opinion was that didn't take place, and I was surprised that the Leavenworth County Extension didn't get a little bit more involved.
So, and we may find out we have to utilize your expertise in visiting with their commissioners too.
You're in trouble.
Okay. If it comes down to that. Okay. But I mean, just kind of keep you informed.
I appreciate that.
There again, even from this, the dean's suggestion, they are encouraging all counties of Kansas to really look at districting. And so specialization of agents, hopefully better service of clientele for in-depth servicing. So that's kind of, some of the things about districting. And again, if you do have questions, certainly ask. Concerns, share those concerns. And I don't know.
I may in the future, because I haven't really, most of that was done right before, and the separation with Leavenworth kind of came right about the time I got on, so I may have to stop in sometime and kind of get refreshed on some of that stuff.
Yeah, as I've got this leaflet, there's no shortage of other extension leaflets on districting, but in general, the idea as far as counties come together, and whether that's a Leavenworth, Atchison, or if that didn't work out, Donovan, Brown, Atchison, or whatever. So it just is really the encouragement by the state of Kansas to look at districting. So we'll keep you informed as best we can, and again, if you have questions, certainly give us a call.
Okay,
Thank you, Ray.
thank you.
Well, is there interest, in looking at the map, is there interest with Brown and Donovan?
Well,
I mean, that's a little cluster, and
I wouldn't say there is not, but they have not been as encouraging at this point in time.
or even with Meadowlark. Is that too big an area? Because it's smaller than some of those out west.
Yeah. Oh, right. Distance-wise, as far as last year, as our extension board is even looking at districting options, a letter went to Meadowlark District, which is 3 counties, and they've been, 12 years together almost. And at that point in time, they were said, well, thank you for the inquiry, but they were very comfortable being 3 counties. They're, kind of in their groove, so to speak, and so a 4th county coming in, is that upset? No, but it changes things. So
Yeah.
they were polite to say they were comfortable with 3 counties right now.
I remember you coming with
Yeah.
with that and telling us about that.
Into, yeah, okay. But yeah, it's, as you look at that kind of a map there, Pat, as far as it does show the areas where districting is certainly there, and then you look at southwest Kansas, there's great voids as far as counties that are thinking but just have not formed just yet. So, okay. Okay. That was briefly it. Good luck.
All right, thanks, Rick.
Thanks.
Are you ready?
Justin, you want to come on up then?
Sure.
Anytime? All right. As you may have read or heard, the city received an $850,000 grant through the Federal Transportation Alternatives Program to do a project in the 800 block of Commercial Street. The easiest way to think about that project is that it is a sewer separation project that also intends to make the 800 block look like the 700 block, the 300 block. It's not any more complicated than that. Angle parking spaces, nice lights, redo the sidewalks, and separate the sewers while we're there. Because it's a federal aid, and I think our portion of that is it's an 80-20 split, so our portion is a couple $100,000 tops. That's what the city puts into it, and the way we're doing it is the city's going to, we have a consent agreement, as you all know, we have combined sewers, we have to work on separating them. KDHE is excited that we're going to do a separation project, and we're looking at that the grant pays for all the nice looking stuff, and the city's paying for the sewer separation project. And the money works out to be about right doing that. So because it's a transportation alternatives and a federal aid project, the city, we can't, what they call we can't let or administer that project on our own. KDOT has to do that on our behalf. There's a set of engineering standards that and books that can fill this room for how that project has to be designed, and our city engineer and our engineering technician are working on those plans right now. But one of those requirements is that if you are doing an improvement that abuts the property line, you have to have 5 feet of property rights in order to build that improvement. Those property rights can be temporary, what we commonly call a temporary construction easement. But you have to have 5 feet of space so that a construction crew can work.
No, I just had the one copy of each,
Oh.
but I was just passing you along as I got done with them. The information you had given earlier, so I had it here.
Sure. So if there's a building face, you don't need a temporary easement. You just build the sidewalk and there's no property rights needed. If you don't have a building face at the sidewalk, then you have to acquire temporary construction easements to do that. There are 6 total temporary construction easements for us to move forward with this project. I have successfully secured 5 of those. Wanted to do this one last because it's a public meeting and property negotiations are always can be complicated, right? So I thought we'll do the 5 that I'm allowed to do those privately, and then we'll come and do this one. This is the acquisitions have to follow what's called the Federal Uniform Act. That's something that's been around for several decades, but it exists so that I can't, as the certified right-of-way agent that I am, I can't go to somebody and say, "Hey, boy, do I have a deal for you? I'm going to offer you $5 for these property rights." The Uniform Act is a very strict set of guidelines of coming up with just compensation. Sometimes that includes an appraisal, sometimes not. There's notification periods. It's a very set process. And that's true for this too. So I have to offer you and because it's a small taking and it's temporary, I'm authorized to do the estimate of just compensation as opposed to having an appraiser do it. In this case, I just took what the county's appraisal is, took the per square foot on that, and I think it's usually for most of these properties is around $225 a square foot. And because they're all very small takings, I just applied that, and it's a 3-year temporary construction easement, but I would propose offering full value for those because you're talking about such a small amount of money. I didn't want to go to somebody and say, "Hey, how's about $43 for this easement?" That's kind of insulting. So I wanted to make it worth their while, and so there's a handful of them that were $1,000, and then there's a couple. Total, it's less than $7,000 that all of these acquisitions are. Property owners do have the option to waive compensation and donate, but I'm not allowed, as by the Uniform Act, to press or try to force somebody to do that. So yours is one of the larger ones. I can't remember off the top of my head what the exact dollar amount is.
Was it listed in there? I don't.
It's in the
Proposal would be the top one.
It's in that one, yeah. So what's the dollar figure? It's at the bottom. 2173, okay. And that's just the county appraisal of the land and the per square foot offer for it. Now, this is not a permanent taking. It's something that sunsets immediately after the project is done. And then when it's over, you got a nice new sidewalk. You guys, and somebody's been investing a lot in Memorial Hall and windows and doors and all of that. And I think this continues that. And yeah, I can answer any questions you might have.
From off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. Pat, did you have any concerns, or have you looked at this?
Not really concerns. When Justin presented this to me, I had a concern about Memorial Hall trustees operate that building on your behalf. So I contacted Leonard Budenbaum about it, and he actually mentioned to me that
they would leave it up to the county, and he didn't see any desire to be involved with it. He and I also did discuss the possibility of donating the right of way instead of accepting money for it, and they were okay with that. I then also contacted the rec commission because I thought they were going to be impacted by it. And Justin's already talked with both of them, I think, pretty extensively about what they were doing. And so they're not only okay with it, they are fully supportive and wanting it to be done, and they're cheerleaders for the program. And they also didn't think it was necessary for them to come up to a presentation. Just like when we have the projects through KDOT that are based on federal funding and the matching funds, the acquisition costs do not play into their match, so the city doesn't get credit for anything they pay for
design or for acquisition.
Yeah. So for the right of way, it's this payment, it's not reimbursed.
Okay, so the grant would not be paying for any of the acquisition.
Right.
No.
Right.
Okay.
And it doesn't count for the match. So, but I have no concerns with it, and the proposed grant of the easement is acceptable for him.
One thing I didn't mention is I have had on 2 occasions a conversation with Joe Bowen about figuring out how to get the roof drains. Because right now those go to our combined sewer, so making sure we have a way to get those to the storm sewer separately are an important part of this.
Yeah, that was a question I was going to have, because he did talk with us about that. Is there major hurdles on that front? I mean, what's that going to take, or what do you see on that?
Where, well, he knows, and he shared with me where on the front of the building where those 2 downspouts come down at. What I've instructed our design engineer to do was get our separated storm sewer, it would be a service line, but get connections to that pipe up and into the front of that hill, and then Joe didn't act like it would be much trouble at all to reroute those downspouts from the building to where we stub out the connections to it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's something I know there was a lot of ice on the alleyway and stuff that was coming off of that.
And we are, as a part of this project too, we'll put a new storm pipe up that alley with a couple of area inlets. So
on the north side of it.
East side, correct?
That's the north side
Well,
of
the
north
back, right?
Yeah,
The
north
back
side
would
of
be the
alley.
north
That
side.
alley,
That's where the
we
house was.
should be addressing that with this. There's a new storm pipe that's going up there. 'Cause right now, there's actually not a drain in the entire 700 block, and it's all way undersized, and it's occasionally gets to be a real problem. About twice a year, you about have water in the front of all those shops in the 700 block. But this should address all of that.
Okay. Well, do you want to act on it today, or Commissioner Shealy's not here? But I
Well, I
mean,
don't know if we're on the same page, but
I can't see where he would have any problem with it. But maybe I should ask: does this need to be signed today? I mean, you've already put it off a week. If there's any concern at all, I'm ready to act on it today. But I mean, if that's
well, let me ask you, you willing to waive it?
yeah, I think I will.
I am too, so.
But I mean, the actual work. I mean, to go ahead and sign it, the authorization.
I think with, the county has extended their hand out twice, and this works both ways, but I would be in favor of waiving the fee and working with the city on this project.
So I'll take that as,
A
you want to
motion.
make a motion to accept the city's proposal for the 800 block commercial streetscape
Well,
project?
It's just waiving their fee.
Yeah, but it's the,
right-of-way.
well, it's authorization of the project is the main thing we're signing here today, correct? Or or is this the waiver?
Authorize the project. It's just the easement forms.
well,
just
authorizing the easement is what I mean.
It's just authorizing to waive the easement fee.
Yeah, and I didn't want to be presumptuous at all because you're absolutely due, just like any other property owner, that that just compensation. So I didn't, there is a form that is a appraisal or it's a compensation waiver form, and I can send that to Pat, and he's certainly capable of getting those executed if that's the will of the commission.
Mhm.
Sure. Yeah,
But,
no, I think-
but this today is the actual easement and doesn't address the compensation, correct? Or the waiving?
I would think you could address them both in the same motion, where you're willing to sign the easement and waive the.
Okay, all right, I'll make that the motion then, that we accept the easement and waive the compensation and for the 800 block commercial streetscape project.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor say aye.
Or did you want me to make a motion?
Well,
Okay,
I made the motion.
It's whatever you want to do. I made the motion, Michelle, and Commissioner Knoll seconded it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so. Do we want that dated as of today then? I mean,
Yeah,
was,
the date doesn't, the date's
okay.
irrelevant. It does have to be a notarized, I will say, my understanding is that.
Shall I go ahead and sign
If I
it
see
then?
you, I'll get my stamp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seemed like there was another, I guess just the one.
I have, it's a form,
I'll let you have it, then I'll come over afterwards and,
I didn't sign
and
it.
whatever, in there.
Finish it.
In
Go
the
ahead,
uniform
sign it.
act.
I think it's just me, isn't it?
I'll send it to you.
Oh, okay.
My understanding too is that because they're temporary easements, that it's not necessary to record them. If it were a permanent easement, it would have to be recorded, but because it's temporary, I don't believe that I have to do that. That was my intention on all 6 of them, was not to record them, but they'll be in our files with our city engineer for 7 years or
No,
whatever.
no.
I guess I didn't see on that. Is there a maximum length on what this temporary is, or is it
It's
just
at the conclusion of the project. It's 3 years.
3 years? All right.
We just want to make sure that we get all the water running in the right place, so you and
Yes, sir.
Joe get together and make sure we do it right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I will do that. Thank you for your partnership. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
All right, thank
no
you.
problem.
All right.
Let us know if there's anything we can do.
Will do.
I think we're up to county councilor updates.
We, a couple weeks ago, got our bid opening for the sale of tax credit, and Mr. Flock was the successful bidder. I have, thought I had, a copy of the agreement for the county to sign. Fumbling over some more. Perhaps I didn't. Well, I would ask that you go ahead and get authority for Commissioner Knoll to sign. The contract is the same as the contract that was attached to the RFP for the bids. It's just been executed by Mr. Bach. And I don't know what I did with the,
That was 39,000 something. Mary may want to know that.
Mm.
Do you recall, Michelle, what it was?
It was in the minutes, but it was before what we got here.
Week before this.
Yeah.
I can look it up.
I was thinking it was 39 something. I may be wrong.
$39,224.64.
Did you get that, Mary? $39,224.60.
64.
64, 229, 39, 224.
Okay, do I hear a motion for giving me the approval to sign off on the tax credit application? Is that what your tax credit, what would
It
be?
is the contract for the sale and purchase of tax credit, it's entitled.
I make the motion. We give the chairman authorization to sign off on the tax credit.
And I'll second that. All in favor say aye. Aye. Pass 2-0. Will you be able to get that right after the
You're
meeting?
gonna have-
Yeah, if I can use a computer in your office, I can, yeah.
Okay. Make sure I get. Okay. Public comment.
Also on the tax sale,
Oh, okay.
I have been in contact with both the U.S. Attorney's Office and the Kansas Department of Revenue. The U.S. Attorney's Office is waiting for a review from her supervisor, but I think we're ready. So this week, anyway, we should have the judgment signed on the tax sale, and when that's done, of course, we can determine when the sale date would be. So I expect that to be this week. Also, I did file a nuisance case involving the property out on Country Club Road. I've had telephone discussions with both the landowner and with the tenant who's renting the property, and both appeared willing to discuss possible early resolution of things. And we have a meeting set up with Dennis Foster to talk about whether or not we can just get it resolved quickly.
Options or what they can do.
Yeah. Both of them have been served. That is, both defendants have been served. The one from Missouri has 30 days to file an answer. I think she was served on the 17th. I'm not positive about that, but so
Looks
there's
like to
still
me
time.
it'd be more the landowner than it would be the tenant.
It is. It's
It's their responsibility to provide adequate sewer system for their renters.
It is, but the tenant, on a long-term basis, can't be allowed to continue to live there if it's not fixed.
It's true.
And that's what we were asking for. So we're not seeking any damages or anything, we're just wanting to get the problem fixed, and if it's not going to get fixed, to have nobody reside there.
Okay.
So, and not
Fair
fixing it would be an option, as long as they're not adding to the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Can we add in there that they would have to remove the residence, the trailer house?
I think that's part of what's in count two, and she's expressed, the owner has expressed a desire to remove 2 of those trailers that are uninhabitable. So,
Okay. Back to the tax sale there. Just for my information, once everything is signed off on, how do you actually choose the date? I mean, is it just the first day everybody can get together and do it, or is there criteria for that?
well, we did it on Wednesday last time, and I think that worked pretty well with everyone's schedule. I usually check with the treasurer. Typically doesn't want it the last week of the month because they have higher than average traffic at that time, and I want to make sure the sheriff isn't going to be gone on whatever day,
Mhm.
gone at a conference or something. So we'll, after we know when it will be, I'll send out a couple possible days and
Okay.
see if there's a conflict, if anyone has a conflict.
It was just more of my personal, how this is done. It was just more than being important or anything. So, alrighty then. Do we have anything for an executive session?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So it looks like we're about done. Anything more, Michelle? Do you have anything more?
The only thing I have is this was with the appropriation. I just need signatures on there so I can send that out with the appropriation check.
You may do your suggestion you give me about the agenda and if a commissioner's absent, the department heads know. She thought if we could respond by Friday, then she could let them know, and I think that's a good policy.
I thought it probably would be good practice if somebody was going to be absent to let me know by email, and then I can forward that to the department heads. Because sometimes it's pretty important that all three are here. I mean, you guys have a couple of things tabled because there wasn't three. So if a department head knows that somebody's gonna be absent, then they may postpone their meeting until the week after.
Yeah, and
We'll
it's,
have less paperwork and.
you know, the earlier we can let them know, the better, because we could even schedule it for a different day that week if we are even more aware that
Well,
one of
you
us
gotta
is.
have it published, and
Well,
it'd be
but,
pretty tough.
you
to
know,
get
well-
it in the paper and stuff.
Well, if we knew, you know, as soon as we know we're, you know, a week
Well, there's
away
gonna-
or 2
there's
weeks
gonna-
away,
There's
you
gonna
know.
be times when something comes up
Mhm.
unexpectedly, but for the most part, you pretty much know.
Right. Okay, we don't have to, this is just for appropriations, you say?
That actually was a check that was actually already presented to them, but that's what they sent to me, and I think it's just for their ledger book.
Okay, so we don't need to do anything but just me sign
Just
off
the
on it?
sign on it. There's a spot over here where the little tab is for the commissioner.
Ah. Do just
That's
me or?
just you, isn't it?
There's spots for everybody.
Oh.
Go ahead and do that.
We'll go ahead and send it out.
You haven't signed enough today? Okay, anything
That's all I have.
more? We'll have bills to look at. Do we need to do that before we
Sure, yes.
adjourn? Okay. That one. You wanna look at that one?
I see we're starting to give out some of the disbursements. Are we trying to do 100%? Like the Chamber of Commerce, I see they got 100% of their allotment.
There are some that come out of county general that we normally do 100% on right off the get-go.
Just
The other ones, they have actual funds for them, and so we give them the portion that we have. And then we'll do another disbursement after the July abstract, and then we'll do another one at the end of the year. So, but yes, my goal is to get them 100% of what was budgeted and approved.
One thing that we talked with the former clerk was about some electrical voting stuff, you know, more up to date, and she decided that would be the new clerk. So I know we're ways out, but it's never too early. to
It's never too
start
early.
looking.
There's a lot of counties around us that are going with new equipment. The equipment's 10 years old. I've had a couple different vendors have contacted me already. I think it's best if I contact some of the other ones and look at how they work. But they have offered, a couple of them that I've talked to, the vendors, have offered to bring a setup here to demonstrate. If you guys would like to be a part of that. That way the office girls can look at it too, to see as far as what's going to be user friendly. But I'd like to kind of get a consensus as far as what's close in the area, what a lot of the new clerks have went with.
I don't know what's actually required or, you know, what state statute says about election law, but I would like some kind of system that has a paper backup of some sort, because, you know, similar to the system we have now, if something was a major malfunction, you do have something to go back on. And if it's totally electronic, if it's hacked, which is a big thing about now, you know, about hacking the election,
Right.
or if there was some kind of catastrophic voting failure, what do you have? You have nothing. It's cyberspace. So
I think a lot of the vendors still have paper backup. I mean, it's based off of a paper format. Some of them, it's just a blank form that you put in and you vote on the screen, and then it prints everything on your ballot. Kind of more like an ADA compliant machine.
mhm.
But that is an issue we have to face as well, have to get.
I think you also need to look at in combining voting precincts. The first year you're going to hear complaints, but I'll give you an example of my neck of the woods, which is Walnut, Mount Pleasant. They're within 3 or 4 miles voting, and that, you know, why get all these extra machines if we really don't need it?
That is going to have to be the first issue to look at, is combining some of these. One of the vendors gave me an estimate of over $8,000 per polling station. That's a lot of money when you're talking those 2 extra polling stations or 3 extra polling stations. So, yeah. So, and that's for the complete setup. That's for the ballot, and then the ADA compliant machine.
Is there a maintenance fee on them, and what's the longevity of them? And
There are maintenance that we pay every year now for the equipment that we have. So, but I've talked to a couple of the other counties that are having demonstrations, so I thought I'd try to get with them.
my papers.
Oh,
Do we have our voting stuff down the cave, or did we have to pull that
We
out?
had to pull it out.
So
Right now
where's
it's
it
at the
at?
recycling center. There's a little office building there that is like,
I was thinking we had to pull that out.
has most of them there.
seemed to me like when I was visiting with Pauline, about this, there's a lot of them now kind of went to almost like more compact units that are more like laptop type things there, which would.
The ADA compliant machine we have, I think, weighs 60 pounds total. It's very, very tough. I don't know how Pauline was able to move as many as she can because they're big. They're big machines.
Well, I know she had help. You did it like you did. Help move the
Joe and
machines.
I didn't help
Joe
move the
was on hold.
machines. I did help bring the votes in when
Oh,
that night of the election,
Right.
because there was stuff coming in and votes and bags, and
Mm-hmm.
which went over very well with the people coming in late. Okay, with that, do I?
folder, anything?
Hmm?
No folder in there?
I think I had got most of that stuff from Michelle earlier. We didn't have hardly anything, just individual papers. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I so move, Mr. Chairman, we adjourn at 2:14.
And I'll second that. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passed 3-0.